Welcome to EDC Ideas. Today's topic: 20 pocket knives for a gentleman. And I know there are a lot of great gentleman knives on the market for the knife enthusiasts, but it's important for me to show some gentleman pocket knives that are rarely shown here on YouTube. Let's start with the more classic pocket knives. This is a Spyderco Kopa. I really like this series. There are different models with different inlays. This is a model with giraffe bone, and in my opinion it's one of the most classic pocket knives for a gentleman from Spyderco. It's a very small pocket knife with a locking blade, and the blade steel is VG10. This knife is made in Seki, Japan. The fit and finish is perfect, and in my opinion it's a highly collectible model from Spyderco, and it's a really cool option for a gentleman carry. I really like the structure of the inlay, and the pocket clip is very cool and EDC friendly too. The Spyderco Kopa series is very popular in the Spyderco collectors community. This is a really rare knife, and only 600 pieces of this version were made. This cool model comes in a standard box, and you see it here. It's a giraffe bone version, and I really like the certificate that tell you that this piece is one of 600. We all know the amazing BUK 110. In my opinion, this BUK 560 is one of the most underrated models from BUK. Similar to the Spyderco Kopa, this BUK version is highly collectible, and it's known as the BUK Crystal. And maybe you noticed why: because the scales are a bit shiny. This knife is very similar to the BUK Titanium series, but normally this one is harder to find. A really cool vintage knife from BUK with a classic back lock and a very useful blade shape. It's a really elegant knife from BUK with a lot of history, very popular in the collectors community. All in all, a gentleman's pocket knife at its best. One of my favorites, and a very special knife for me because it was a special gift, is the MCUSTA Tactility. When you are looking for a modern and elegant EDC design in high quality, the MCUSTA knives are a great choice. This knife is a little bit on the tactical side, but I really like the wood scales and all the details on the pocket clip. All in all, a high quality knife, perfect craftsmanship. One of my favorites in my collection, and I hope you like it too. The next one is the OCASO Solstice, a really elegant design, and with a perfect fit and finish. I really like this slim design, the flipping action, and for example this amazing pocket clip. Everything is perfect on this knife. It's more on the expensive side, but high quality. You find different versions of this knife. For example, with a titanium handle, this is a really elegant carbon fiber one, a great knife. This is another model of the same series, and you see the fit and finish is perfect. The blade is perfectly centered, the pocket clip, all the details, everything is high-end, including the logo. Let's move on to this beauty in red. It's a Boker plus Boston Slipjoint. It was important for me to show some knives with a classic slipjoint design, and it was important too to show some knives with a locking blade. I really like this Boker design, Boker plus design. The pocket clip is really cool for EDC and gentleman's carry because it's a deep carry pocket clip, and when you see the fit and finished, you will get a lot of knife for the money. You have a 90-degree stop, and you see the blade is perfectly centered. The HELLE Raud M is a more uncommon model. in this series because it's mainly designed as a pocket knife for bushcraft. But in my opinion, the wood scales, the pocket clip and the complete design of this knife makes this knife a perfect gentleman pocket knife. We all know the HELLE knives, for example the HELLE Eggen, as excellent bushcraft knives, and this knife is great for carving tasks too. This model was fairly interesting to me because it's a kind of hybrid version. It's elegant, but it's designed as a bushcraft pocket knife, and that's why I was interested in this knife. I really like this knife after a year of a very light use. A cool pocket knife and maybe interesting for you as a pure gentleman. Maybe you know this knife from some of my previous videos. This knife is one of my most used and most carried pocket knives. It's a classic pocket knife designed from Soling. I have some problems with the HARTKOPF quality and the HARTKOPF service, but this model was perfect. All in all, it's a fairly slim design compared, for example, to the BUK 110. It fits perfectly in the pocket, it's elegant, there's nothing tactical on it, and that are the reasons why I love to carry this one. I mentioned before that I want to show some knives that are not very popular here on YouTube, and the OTTER Mercator knives are very popular. This one is a kind of special version. It's a carbon steel blade, it's not used, it's without a patina, but it's a special model because I visited the OTTER factory in Soling and there was a little modification done for me. The carbon steel blade with this cool pocket clip. All in all, the OTTER Mercator is a very slim design, a locking blade, and the modern knives with the excellent pocket clip makes this knife perfect for EDC. When we talk about gentleman pocket knives, I want to talk about this original BERTRAM pocket knife. It's a rare collector's item because it's an original BERTRAM knife, a classic gentleman pocket knife from Soling, and the structure of the handle is really cool, timeless in my opinion. Compared to other brands that produced these kind of knives, the BERTRAM quality was high-end. The quality was a lot better than the quality of the Friedrich HARTKOPF models, for example. But this one it's a beauty, and if you are able to find one of these knives in good or really good condition, it's a perfect knife for every knife collector. A gentleman pocket knife needs a gentleman style of carry, and I love this red leather pouch to carry this beauty. Let's stay in Soling. This is a little multi-tool from GÜDE. It's a little bit SAK-like, but this is a pitchfork for golfing, and the blade shape is really classic. I love the structure of the scales. You find different versions of the scales and you find different tool sets of these knives. GÜDE is very popular for making high quality kitchen knives, but from time to time you find cool models from GÜDE, and they are still available. Especially when you are looking for an SAK, Victorinox or Wenger alternative, this GÜDE knife is a great option made in Soling. Welcome to the next part of my video, and we start with a modern pocket knife from KIZER, the KIZER Mini Begleiter. As the name said, the KIZER Mini Begleiter is a very small pocket knife, but I really like this knife. It's an extremely fast knife. I like the quality, I like the combination of silver steel and this red color. If you are looking for a pocket knife with an elegant and really modern design, on the budget side, the KIZER Mini Begleiter is a great choice. The blade shape is very functional for EDC. I like this cool jimping on the back, and you can easily operate this knife with one hand. Yes, you are right. There are Victorinox knives without classic red scales. This is a Victorinox Alox version, the Victorinox Cadet. I really like this blue version. It's a limited edition color from the Victorinox Alox series from the year 2020. A big advantage of this knife you find in the slim design different tools. For example, both combination tools for bottle opening and for can opening. You also have this small nail file and this keyring attachment. For this video I have chosen the Victorinox Cadet, but in my opinion the Victorinox Pioneer or for example the Victorinox Alox Classic are also great choices. We talked about a more modern design from Victorinox. This is a vintage model from the 74mm series. In this series you find different models with a full stainless steel construction. This one includes a large blade, a small blade and a nail filing and nail care tool. You also find models with scissors or for example with an orange peeler. This knife stands in the tradition of the classic gentleman pocket knives. You see the BERTRAM model before. I like the size, it's very slim, you easily can carry it in your pocket, in your jacket or in your fifth pocket. A great choice, you can't go wrong with this one. The RUIKE M126 is one of my favorite versions. This is the TZ version. I really like the titanium handle and it's definitely one of my favorites during the last years. I like the build quality and this cool feature. Here is an extra locking mechanism for the titanium frame lock. It's a very fast and elegant knife and you will get a lot of knife for the money. I like this knife because of the quality, the functionality, the blade stands perfect, the pocket clip is great, but in my opinion you can explore all the details step by step of this knife. Really cool, one of my favorites. This cool pen-sized liner lock pocket knife is very popular in the gentleman's community, the CRKT CEO. This cool pen-sized design is more on the budget side, or let's say it's a little bit budget friendly. Really cool, it weighs nothing, has a cool deep carry pocket clip, perfect for the office. And I don't know why, but I love to play with this knife, but maybe you know this serious problem. This is the BÖKER Boxer, Raphael Durand design. This model is made in Solingen. A really cool pocket knife and a lot of cool details, jimping on the backlock mechanism, really cool blade shape for bushcraft, for EDC and even for the kitchen. In my opinion, we will talk in 25 years that the BÖKER Boxer is a timeless knife design. The curves are perfect and there is a lot of knife designing knowledge in this elegant pocket knife. This pocket knife is the perfect combination of classic style and a modern design. Let's talk about another slip joint design. This is the Boker Plus Atlas. The Boker Atlas series is very popular in the EDC community. This knife combines a very functional blade, a slim design, a great pocket clip, and it's more on the budget friendly side. You find different versions, and in the Boker Atlas series there are models with a backlock locking mechanism. Yes, this one is a slip joint design, but even the knives with a locking blade are great for EDC, lightweight and easy to carry. This one is a modern interpretation of the classic Stockman knives. This is the PUMA SGB Stockman, a cool little pocket knife with 3 different blades. I have some problems with the quality of the PUMA SGB line, but this Stockman model was great and I like to use this little knife for small hikes, for example, or for a walk in the nature. A classic design with 3 blades. Maybe we can talk about the case models in a later video. I normally don't use LAGUIOLE knives. This is a model from LAGUIOLE and but when we talk about gentleman pocket knives, in my opinion, this model fits perfectly into this series. It's a classic design with a lot of cool details. Overall, it's a beautiful knife design. In my experience, that are not the perfect knives for bushcraft tasks, but that's not the reason where these knives are designed for. For light EDC and gentleman tasks, this knife will work. I really like this cool leather pouch for the LAGUIOLE knife, because this pouch comes with a slot for a classic vintage sharpening steel. The quality and the design of the leather pouch is great and elegant. You have different carry options on the back, and in my opinion, the way of carrying this kind of knives is also an interesting point. This CIVIVI knife, it's the CIVIVI Exarch, stands in the same tradition like the CRKT, CEO and the OCASO knives. But in my opinion, there are some differences in the quality. Overall, it's a really cool design, slim, pocket friendly, classic liner lock and a deep carry pocket clip. A great choice and more on the budget side. Let me know in the comment section below if you know all of these knives and if you are interested in a second video of this series.